Hi guys, Igor here. Today we write some end-to-end tests in Playwright from scratch. Let's start. What will we test? We will test some index.html page that I wrote some time ago. So let's see how it looks. It started on port 8080 and we have a very basic index.html page with like two functionalities. So we can reverse these items, we can add them. We also have some basic validation, so you need to input name and value. And that's all that we will be testing today. So what do we need? We need to set up a Playwright. So let's do that. Let's create an end-to-end tests directory. Let's get there and let's see what we need. We need to run that guy. So let's install. Yeah, and we have a few questions to answer. We'll use TypeScript. We also want to put our tests in tests directory. We don't want to GitHub Actions, and we want to browsers to be installed. It will be faster on my machine because I did that previously. It can take a while. Basically, Playwright will download all needed browsers for tests, and for these dependencies I don't need them, you might need them, so just check that out. Okay, we have something. So in the end-to-end tests directory we have files generated by Playwright, so we have package.json, dependency on Playwright, and a Playwright config file, which is quite important. So tests directory, some params that we don't care, and projects. These are basically the browsers, more or less. And by default we have three browsers, as you can see: Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit. And we also have tests of some page generated by Playwright, so let's run them to see that it works. Okay, it works, so let's rewrite them, guys. So first, we don't need this tests examples directory. Here I will also do something, so we don't want that. That means basically that Playwright will write all tests in even one file in parallel, and we don't want that because it can lead to flaky tests. And here we also will set up base URL for our app because we are on the port 8080. And let's start to write tests, guys. So let's do index spec ts, maybe index page, like that. Let's copy the first test and let's rewrite it. So we'll go here. We can do this because this is relative URL, because we have configured our base URL here. So we go to the root URL, which is just that, and let's check the title basically. So maybe let's rename it to, I don't know, should have title. Here not regex, but just string. And let's run it to see that it works. Okay, Yeah, let's delete that. We don't need that. Just one test. Okay, guys, it works. So before going to more tests and explaining, let's do one thing, which is that in our app package.json of our app, I've prepared something like this to start our app with test profile. It will allow us to control the items that we have on the lists. So let's run with test profile. So it is almost the same. The app has started, but we have a special endpoint where we can import these items to have reliable tests data, basically. So let's actually use it. So the next test that I would like to write is we just check that we go to our page and that we have this title. I would like to test that we can see items. So let's do something like should show items in the list. For example, I think because we await here, we need to have page parameter, and we also need to go to the page, and we actually will need to do that before each test. So let's write the before each hook. So it is almost the same. We do async. We also need page, and basically let's go to our page before every test. And let's start with asserting that we can see this guy, items header. So it is a header. So what we can do is to write something like that, page, and we will use a locator. Locators are basically Playwright methods to search elements in the page. So we can do something like page get by role, and role is something from accessibility. So we have a few predefined roles for elements on the page. One is heading. So we have a header here, which has this role, and additionally we can add additional filters here. So we can say level of the heading. We have two. Let's do that, and let's do name, which is text, and it is case insensitive, I believe. Let's see. So maybe let's do this. This line we just try to search for the item according to the specification, but to assert something we need to do expect. So we wrap it into expect, and right now we just want to assert that it is visible. So let's do be visible, and let's run it, and let's also run it only on one browser to make it faster, basically, because we don't care right now for other browsers. Okay, it works. Maybe to show it what Playwright is doing, we can do also headed. Let's see. Yeah, so it basically went to our page and asserted that. So right now we would like to see we'd like to assert that we can see specific items on this list. So let's model actually the tests data. maybe. So do something like test data, and maybe let's model the item. This will prove useful because we'll also add them. So we have TypeScript, so let's do the let's do immutable class like that. So item with the name and value, and also to simplify our assertions, so let's add toString method, and here let's basically do this to show it exactly like that. So this name and this value. Okay, and let's hard code these items. So just items list, and new item, first item 1, and or actually let's do something different. We change it a little, because as I said, we want to have control over our tests data, and as you can remember, we have test profile for our app, and on this endpoint we can import items, so we can basically overwrite them. Whatever we will send here, it will be in the memory. Maybe let's show it. So we have this profile, we are in the index.html page app, let's say, and if we have this profile set, we are basically allowing someone to post items on this endpoint, and we override the items that we serve. So what we can do, we can, and before each hook, we can always make a request to override this data. We have. Okay. So let's import test data basically, and here we can. Playwright has its own API to make HTTP requests. So we can do here, we can get requests from these parameters, and we can do, if I remember correctly, post. Here we can use relative URLs. So import items as we have in the console, and here data, and we can just give it the object. The object is a list of items in our case. So let's just run it to see that nothing has broken. Okay, seems to be working. So let's say that we have items set up to assert in our tests. Right now we need to find them in the HTML. So as you can see, I added data test ID attribute to make it easier for us to search for particular items in the page, and to make test assertions easier. So what we do is we will first, let's maybe do page get by test ID. We have an item, and we would like to see check what text we have in this items, but right now let's just count the items. So we do this to have count, and we have test data items length. Okay, it should all match. Okay, so we have 2 items, and if you don't like to be blind in this headless mode, you can run show report as Playwright is suggesting and see that it made assertions. Okay, so right now what we would like to have is basically check that here we have first item and here we have second item. So we can get this item again, but not to have count, but to have text. And let's run this, and it will not work because, yeah, we should have array of strings here, and our items are objects. So let's maybe do a function to stringify items. Basically, let's have array of items, and let's return array of strings, and we will simply do items map and the I to string like that. And here let's just do stringify items. Okay, and let's run it. Okay, let's run it in UI mode also guys, we have something like that in Playwright. Play test. And here we can run it interactively, so we can see snapshot of each action that was taken by Playwright. So let's go to our tests that we are writing right now. You can see Playwright found items, then it counted them, and then it checked that, let's see, yeah, here we have the source code. So it counted them, and then it asserted that the text is matching. All right, so we can see that we can show items in the list. So what next, guys? Let's see that we can reverse these items. So for that, we need to find this guy. That's for sure. We have a button with this text. So let's just write test. So something like should allow to reverse items in the list. Don't need that. We need to have this button. So let's do await page get by row button. We have this row. Here we can filter by its name, which is text in that case. So let's reverse items, and it is also case insensitive, I believe. So we click on it, and after clicking on it, we need to have reversed order of items. So what we can do is let's create a variable reversed items. Let's copy the test items, not to mutate them. Reversed items, let's reverse them. And I guess it will be the same, but reversed items here and here. And let's run it, guys. We have it, and as you can see, we start to duplicate some stuff, locators specifically. So what I will do is to create a class that describes our page. So let's do something like index page, and here we'll have methods and fields that will help us with testing this page. So this basically model the page as an object. So what we have items header for now, and we have item, I guess, and we have reverse items button. Okay, let's do constructor page. Let's assign page to our variable, and let's copy that guy, which is our items header, like that, and item locator is this basically, and reverse button. Let's also have this guy, reverse items button, and let's also close the go to maybe as a method. So let's do go to, let's await this page go to, like that. Okay, and what we can do is right now is to create a variable index page. It will initialize it before every test page, and let's change it to index page go to. All right, and let's refactor our tests. So for example, here we don't need that, we just need to use index page items header, which is more readable obviously, and here we have just item like this. Okay, here we also don't need to have page, just need to do index page reverse item button items, and here item like that, and here also like that. And let's run them, guys, to make sure that everything works as previously. It works. So let's go with other tests. So we tested that we have items and we can reverse them. We should test that we can add items, but before that, let's check that the validation works. So let's write a test like should not allow to add item without required fields, something like that. Okay, and let's first model the locators. So we have add item header. So let's add it to our index page class. Then we have errors. What is that guy? So errors, we have some ID, and possibly text, because if I refresh it, if I refresh it, it is in the DOM but without any text. So let's do add errors, add item errors, add item errors, I guess. It's good enough. And then we have name and value inputs, and they have name and placeholder. Okay, so add item name, locator, add item value, locator, and I guess add item button. Alright, so let's localize them. So add item header, it will be page, it will be similar to that actually, but we have add item case insensitive again, so actually you can also do that and it will work. Then we have this item name. Okay, it should be add item name input, I guess would be more descriptive, but also I forget about add item errors. And this we will do locator. We can have custom locators here. So we have, for example, one by ID. And what we want to do here is to search it by errors container. But let's maybe use its error text also. So if we have an error, it is something like that. So let's do filter, because we have functionality like that in the Playwright, and we can say has text. We require this text. So if basically in that state where we have this, well, it is matched by ID but not by the text because we don't have anything inside. It will not be found by the Playwright, and that's expected. And when we have an error, it will be found. Okay, so then we have add item name input, and how we can find this guys. We have name and placeholder attributes, so we can do get by placeholder, but I prefer to have locator by name attribute, to be honest. So we can do this. It is the same as in CSS. So name is item name input, and the add item value input is have attribute of name equal to value. And then last guy we have add item button, and this will be similar to this guy. Get by role button, but text is add item. Okay guys, so we should have all locators. So let's see that with this test that we should not allow to add item without required fields. I would at the start I would check that we don't see an error. So let's do index page with items errors to have count 0, which basically means that it doesn't exist. And then what we want to do is to add item. So to try to do an item. So let's do add item button and let's click it. Let's click it and we need to also await that. And then because we didn't fill the form, we should see this guy to be visible. So let's start with that, whether it will work or not. Right, it worked. Let's maybe run it in UI mode also, why not? Okay, this guy. Let's see what happened before hook. Okay. No error container. Then we click that and yeah, we got an error, guys. So everything according to the plan. So now we also want to, because name and value are required, that's basically all our validation. So we want to get add item name and fill. So basically entering the input. Let's do some name. So right now we have a situation where one of the inputs is given, but we require two of them. So basically we'll click again and again assert that we still have an error. Okay, so it works, guys. So we have errors. So right now let's see that we can add valid item and then we can see it here. And that will be all for today, basically. So here I would like to add items and let's add some other items, like I don't know, third item, that, and fourth item, like X. Let's say something different. Okay, let's write test should add items or should allow to add items to the list. Something like that. And how we should start, guys. Let's assert that we have this guy, because I think that we didn't use it yet. So let's await index page at item header to be visible. Okay, let's run it. Okay, as you can see, it's pretty fast. End-to-end test, but 2 seconds. Not that bad. But yeah, let's add an item. So what I would like to do is add a method here, add item basically, and we have item class in the test data file. So let's basically do await this name, add name input. Let's fill it with item name, and then same for value, and let's click the add item button basically. Okay, so we have a method to add item, and let's also, we can check whether there is no error, but I don't think we need that. What I would like to do is something like that. Wind items. We'll be adding items, so let's copy the initial items. Initial items, stringified actually, because this is all we need for our assertions. And maybe let's, at the start, let's just check that we have the same items before adding anything, so it is similar to the previous list test. So before doing anything, we check that we have previous items basically. And right now let's create a new item, or to add item 1 variable. Let's get it from to add items, and basically let's do let's add an item. So add item, and basically we have items list, so let's push it but stringified for our assertions, and we will repeat the previous assertions but with new items value, because we have added new item to the list. So let's see, it worked. I also like to validate in the UI mode, so let's see that. Let's run it on UI. One test. Okay, we have the header, we have previous items, we locate name, we locate value, we add, and we have 3 items, guys, as you can see. So let's do the same with second item. So basically that item 2 and item 2. Yeah, and let's run it, guys. Let's see. Let's maybe to the full screen. Okay, it worked. So again, add item, previous items, input, new items, next input, fourth item, add item, new items. Everything works. So let's run maybe them here or so, and let's do headed. Why not? Headed. Okay, and we have also the report prepared for us, and with all results. And if we run them on all browsers, yeah, a few browsers, takes longer because it is run on 3 browsers. Oh, we have failed on one. Yeah, with all browsers, guys, we should do worker 1 because they are run in parallel and we have a state in our app. So let's do with workers 1 and it will work. Okay, and let's see reports. yeah, everything is there. Yeah, so I think that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. If so, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I see you in the next one. Stay awesome. See ya.